And we are live.
Yay! There we go. We did it. We avoided the technical issues this time. Well, we'll give everyone a chance to hop in so that they don't miss anything. But I am super excited to be here with the ladies from Dancing Elephant Press. We have Dr. Gabriela Kuroshi and Gabriela. Can you pronounce your last name for me so that I don't accidentally butcher it?
Gabriela Trofin-Tatár. Just
Okay.
call me
All
Gabby.
right. Gabby.
Gabby.
We we lovingly refer to you as the Gabrielas, because
Yes.
you're our two favorite Gabrielas in our life. Um, so we are very excited to get to talk to you about your second book, Weaving Connections Across Continents. Do you want to give everyone just a quick overview of what this series is about and what the goal is behind this series?
Well, the first book is here. I don't have a
Yay!
copy of a second one yet, but
It's so
we
new. It's
ordered
hot
that.
off the press.
It's hot off the press. It's still packaging and coming my way. But the weaving connections, I had an idea of connections, both connections. Other Gabriela and me, we found connections through across continents, and when we did our nature walks last year and decided to put it in a book, we just felt like it was like these weaving connections, like how we met, how everything evolved, and how from our meeting we found our voices and connected to other things and other people, like you, for example. So we know that we wanted to do more books in the series. So, and we've just felt like it's kind of like this basket weaving of connections that come from our connections and us finding each other. And then we had some magical experiences that are in this woman's book and going to be in the upcoming spiritual book after that. Is all had to do with connections, and I don't know if there's anything more to that, Gabi, but we just kind of decided that that's what it should be because we are connected and we like connections. I don't know.
Yes, somehow this energy between us and a few other women with whom we collaborate um, brought together ideas, and so it became a series, and it's evolving. We are evolving through
Mhm.
this creation process, and by being connected with each other through writing, storytelling, and even more than that, because we actually met in person
Yes.
in
Yes, that
January,
was so exciting.
and it went beyond.
Mm,
This is not. This book. It touches upon our meetings, but there is more to come. So
Yes.
yay. It was so cool for me to hear about how you guys grew up, like you said, in the same area, almost down the street from one another, but you didn't actually connect until years later when you were on different continents and you learned how to tell your story. Am I getting that right? That timeline right?
Not fully. So,
Okay.
uh, I grew up in Hungary. Gabi got to Hungary later, but
Okay.
she lives in an area now where I used to live in Hungary.
Gotcha.
So when we met, we
Okay.
were able to walk in streets that,
yeah,
I walked in before. And
Wow.
yeah, but it's just really interesting that, when we did our nature walk, she was walking in areas of Budapest that I know the streets. And,
Wow.
what are the chances of that to connect with somebody and connect in such a deep level and start
Crazy.
to do these nature walks and then elevated to that we actually were able to meet together. And it just felt like when I met Gabi, it felt like I'd known her forever. Like she's one of my soul sisters, my core main people in my life. And then we had some amazing experiences together too. And I'm sure there's more to come, but
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, what Gabby said about you evolving through the process of creating these stories together, I think I am a witness to that because having met you guys when you went through One Brilliant Arcs Tell It Anyway program, and then seeing you get to own your voices and recognize when you were living in your authenticity and when you weren't, and now being able to stand on that ground is so amazing for me to see. And it just makes me really excited to see what will come next because each thing that happens, it's almost like it goes even deeper because it's even more you. So that's just really, really cool for me to see.
Yeah, so we realized that all these coincidences that we lived together uh, while Gabriela was here um, sort of confirmed that we are meant to go on this road together, on this journey of,
Mhm.
yeah, creation. It's and not only it's not creation, it's also rediscovery, because we are rediscovering parts of ourselves
Mhm.
through this, through the books, through our nature walks, meetings, and also sort of remembering things.
Mhm.
But I won't say more because
No
we'll come
spoilers.
later. I don't want to
You have to
spoil
buy the book
anything.
to find out. Oh, so your first book was about just kind of getting to know more about yourself and the human experience in general. And now the second book, I heard tell that it dove a little bit more into exploring your identity and your stories as women in particular.
Kind of. I mean, the first one, it's really just we did nature walks and we talked whatever we wanted to felt like it was important at the moment in our lives, whatever it was, reuse, recycle, or how to raise the kids mindfully, or the berries that grow in a forest, and how does it feel to be outside in nature. And we talked about nature a lot, and also whatever came from our life experiences. And this book is exploring who we are as women and
Mm,
sharing in-depth experiences. Like, for example, we share experiences from our childbirth,
mm,
and what does it mean to be a woman in today's society. Gabi wrote a great article about hysteria, and she went into the depth and research about that, like the perceptions of
mm,
women. But we also share how we all met. So there's four of us: me, Gabi, Annalise Lords, and also Brie Wilder. And I met all of them, but they haven't met each other.
Oh,
So
wow.
uh, yeah, so it's kind of like this interesting um
Connection.
think how, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like coincidence how I met all of them, and how we all ended up in this book that I originally started to write, and then Brie became a part of it, and then Gabi and Annalise become a part of it, because it didn't feel complete until now, and it didn't feel complete until Gabi and I met, because she was the missing link from like this four. And it's also like there's a lot of spirituality in the book, and we talk about the elements and ceremonies of women coming together. And it was wonderful because we were able to. Gabi
Mm,
coordinated. She can tell you a little bit about that in Hungary. So we had some ceremonies and women coming together in Hungary that also kind of completed this book and kind of give us a
mm.
lot of ideas for future many books.
That's
Yes,
so
you
exciting.
remember we were planning to launch the book earlier, or to finalize.
Yes,
It was almost ready, but it it waited for us to meet and to
yes.
live these
Mhm.
experiences, and then we could complete it. We were just, it was one
Yep.
more step, but
Yep.
we allowed it because we go with the flow somehow. We don't force things in this
Mm.
process, and that's why it's a bit spiritual in this sense.
Yeah. Yes.
So and what we did here in Hungary, we found two more Gabrielas, and we
Oh my
had
goodness.
the circle of the four Gabrielas, and it was what what made us go deeper into
Mhm.
the topic. So
Yep.
we shared some of the things in the book, but there will be more to come later,
That's
even
amazing.
deeper. So
Yeah.
it's true what you said, that we are going deeper
Yeah. Yep.
through the series.
Mm. It's like a journey that keeps keeps uncovering more and more goodness as you go.
Yes.
That's
It doesn't
awesome.
mean there won't be lighter topics as well, but yeah.
And we are
That's
also
amazing.
having actually projects that are not part of the Weaving Connection series, but there's projects that are part of it. So we have many blooming ideas. We got like the visual I get right now is a mushroom, just because there's mushrooms
Mm.
growing in my garden. So, you know, you have the mushroom, it's growing up, and all of a sudden there's these spores everywhere, and all
Yeah.
the spores are different ideas we have. So many
Mm.
times we have so many ideas and creativity things going with Gabi that we have to like we start all these branches and then kind
Mm.
of figure out, okay, which one is it that we want to do next? And then even when we want to do something, then we are like, oh well, maybe we should do this other thing next. So that's but we are being really flexible and just kind of listening to our gut instinct what needs to be.
Mm.
And these amazing Gabriela circles with the 4 Gabrielas that Gabi organized in Hungary were truly magical, because the 4 of us had deep connections that we didn't know about similar
Mhm.
experiences
Oh,
from our
wow.
life. And then when the 4 of us come together and ate together and did nature walks together and did other amazing little ceremonies together, the connection like deepened even more. Like
Mm.
uh, we're gonna write more about this, but it was truly magical. You know, it's like
Yeah.
when people come together and without knowing each other have this sensation of I know you, like from
Mm.
forever, from previous and
Yeah.
past lives, and just I have this super deep connection, like what a mother has with a child, which we shared a lot in this book. And how does it feel, you know, to birth something? This is kind of like that, but just in a more elevated and spiritual level.
Wow, that's so neat to hear about. So, with your meeting with the other two Gabrielas and in getting together to explore these connections, did you find that sharing your stories kind of helped that and bridged those gaps of getting to know someone and then helping them get more courage to share their stories?
Yes, definitely. So storytelling is at the base of these connections. Um, and more than that, I think the voice. So it all started with the OBA workshop somehow. We go back a bit in time because this is how I dared also to organize these circles, even though so my voice was stronger, and then I touched upon this instinctual side and just went with the flow. And I knew I needed to organize these meetings, and it was during the time while Gabriela was here. So we just I just did it, and I was asked, how did I know that I why did I how did I know who to invite? And I just I just felt it, and we met, and it was really amazing.
Wow. Jo was talking about her story with her mushrooms in her garden as well.
Yeah, it sounds like a traumatic experience. I'm sorry you
Yeah.
had to go through that, Joe. There are happy mushrooms and good mushrooms as well. But yeah, there's those that we want to throw away or not grow in our garden.
Yeah. This is a really interesting kind of topic to explore upon, using the metaphor of the mushrooms growing. What do you find is kind of a struggle that becomes a toxic thing that grows, that kind of chokes out some of these connections from being made? And did you notice any similar struggles even across all of these different lives as you were meeting together?
I think what really connected us, me and Gabriela, was the flow. So
Mm,
whenever we try to force something, it's not good for us
mm, yep.
somehow.
as
This
you
is the
know.
first thing that comes to my mind. And either some, I don't know, accidents can happen, or various signs that um, remind us that, okay, slow down,
Yep.
take a moment, just be,
Mm-hmm.
regroup, and see what is important in the
Yeah.
moment.
Almost like learning to listen to your inner voice as you've let your inner voice bloom. Now you're learning to listen to it when it's kind of whispering to you warnings in certain situations.
And it's really, it still feels unusual because as women, as we grow up, we are really bombarded with societal
Mm,
expectations and what we need to do, what all the things that that are expected from us.
mm,
And
mhm.
it still feels new, and like breaking boundaries to
Yeah.
wait, to
Mm.
just take a moment, to take a walk,
Yeah.
and just connect with someone you enjoy being with. And so connect not through necessarily, it comes social media, not, but it's still okay, we this is how we met online, so it's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, it's all about how you use the tool, not necessarily what the tool is.
So I think you're asking about struggles, and I think how Gabi was touching upon then, that is, for us it was really super being flexible
Mm,
of how and what we feel that day. So sometimes we would plan something and it ended up being something else, because what we planned or the day we were going to do, or it something else happened. And just to be flexible with that and okay with that, and sit with that. And um we still have things that we have done in Hungary that we had plans to do, but then we're like, well, let's wait, this doesn't feel right. Or even launching things. There's been things that we have planned to launch,
yep.
um, and then we decided, no, it's not
Mm,
feel right, or not yet, or for whatever reason, we are getting kind of signs from the universe, or from each other, or from our intuition, or however you want to call it. And I think it's really important, because in today's society, everything is so fast paced. Go, 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 do
yes.
this, do that. And especially, when you bring in financial things. And but sometimes when you ask for financial things, it blocks your spirituality. So you have
Mm,
to listen to that well. Yes, we have to make a living. How you do that, and also stay connected and true to who you are and what
yeah.
you want to be, and how you want things to be in your life.
Mm, yeah.
And it's really truly like, when I try to force something, even myself right now, I think because of all these channels that we opened with Gabi and the four Gabrielas, and the universe and all that, I physically get slowed down. Like, I had a
Mm.
fall last week because I was
Oh
trying to
no.
go too fast. I was frustrated and not patient with something. And I was reminded yet again with life, no, you got to slow down, pace yourself. It's going to be okay. You
Mm,
just have to wait. And sometimes that's difficult, to wait
yeah.
and
Yeah.
be patient and let things to be the way they meant to be, and trust that this is exactly where you're supposed to be, and this is exactly what you're
Mm,
supposed to be doing. So,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
finding that balance and kind of like being countercultural in that way of choosing to not fall into that hustle culture, kind of like what we talked about in our last live. And right finding that balance and setting your own course for yourself. And now you guys are being an example for other women across continents and cultures who struggle with the same things to be able to have the courage to listen to their inner voices and set their own pace and go in a slower way, slow down so that they can listen more and notice more. Having those moments of connection, I've found a lot of times come, like you're saying, in very unexpected ways, but also they only come when you're going slow enough to notice them. Um, so did you find that there was any practices that you started together that helped you remember to slow down in life and be listening to others and to yourselves?
Mhm. But our nature walks. I would
There
think.
you go.
I mean, this is what started this
Yeah.
mindfulness way of being in the creative flow and storytelling and sharing things together and with the world. Um, and we created a trust, and
Mm,
we know that it's okay to tell each other that okay, I need to slow down, or it's okay, we don't have to do this right now. So
mm,
this for me was really uh, really important to know and to hear from Gabriela and such, because I'm always in a hurry and I'm expected to do things, or I think I'm expected to do things because this is how I grew up.
Yeah.
yeah.
And there is that voice that, oh, you can do
Mm,
more. Why not? Just squeeze in a few more tasks, or
mm,
and in the process, I tend to forget about myself. So
mm,
we are switching this mindset towards being
yeah.
and being kind to ourselves as well.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. Well, as women, our so in the book we touched upon a lot of topics, and we might have included more, I think, but we decided that we can go deeper in
Mm,
uh,
yeah.
Yeah, we
future
had a little
documentaries.
debate in the book. Okay, should we add a little bit more things? And then we added a few more things after our, you know, meeting together in Hungary, but then decided that the more in-depth and spiritual things that needs to be another book and another, and we need to gain more in-depth knowledge and
Mm,
experience.
yeah.
Um, and sometimes you just have to pause and wait,
Mm,
um,
yeah.
and be okay with what it is and feel that okay, like with the book, you can always add more, you can always edit
Yeah.
more, you can always add more line, you can always find more mistakes, but at some point you have to decide, no, this is complete and whole and beautiful the way it is, because nobody else
Yeah.
knows what you intended to do, right?
That's
um,
true.
us as authors and writers, we can always add more, but we can also
Yeah.
say, no, this is good, it's good
Yeah.
enough, and then we can add more in the next book or the next project or the next article or the next life,
Yeah.
yeah, thank
That's
you
such a
all
good
for all the
point.
comments, and welcome everybody from
Yes.
all over the US, looks like. Thank you for
Yeah.
being
Hello,
here.
Lynette. It's great to hear someone from Pennsylvania hopping in. I was also going to say for Joe, I love what you mentioned, Gabriella, that it's really, really hard as writers. I've seen so many writers get stuck in like the 18th, 19th, 27th draft of their book because it can never match up to what their vision of perfection was. But at some
Hmm.
point, even in their even in imperfection or even in the process of becoming who you feel like the final version of yourself is, your voice is still healing to someone out there, and it's time to just put your story out into the world and let it start doing the work that it needs to do in creating those connections. um, like what Joe was saying, listening to your voices is so healing for her. And I think that's such a beautiful reminder that it's it's in our becoming, in that journey, where we can help other people along their journey, and getting to walk together in that way through nature, through slow moments, through the struggles of each of our individual cultures and experiences. um, Gabby, you were talking about how, that voice in your head from the expectations that you grew up with kind of comes back to haunt you in a lot of ways. Did you notice across these continents, across these generations and cultures, connecting with all these different women, were there similar struggles that each woman has faced that you realized were the same even across these differences?
So in the book, we actually have dialogues. So what we write about, we also discuss in the book with our bubble heads. And yes, many times the experiences are similar.
Mm,
Um, and it it usually goes back to expectations
mm,
and intergenerational inherited stuff of all sorts, traumas and
mm,
blocks. And so it's good to be aware of this. That's why we hope with through this book many more women will become aware. It's just a
yeah.
switch that, and not only become aware but also dare to connect with more women,
Mm,
small circles in real life. In real life it's different. So and and somehow go back to this basic human to human connection, where which
Yeah.
is it is so important for women to be together.
yeah.
For a long time, so since I became a mother, in the first years I was in a box. I kept saying that I was in a box. I was really
Yeah.
isolated and mostly online.
Mm,
I was far from my parents, far from. I had help, but I didn't know that I could ask for it. I didn't know how to ask for it. There are lots of little things that could could seem obvious, that well, you just need to ask someone for help, but it doesn't work like that.
really
When you
hard
have a
to ask
small
for
baby
help if
and
you don't know how. Yeah.
Or
yeah,
if you
and
don't know that you can, or if it's
Yeah.
okay,
Yep.
because we
that
wanna all feel adequate, and you don't wanna feel inadequate as a mother. So
Yeah.
yeah.
the book is in English, Lynette. Yes. So as a young mom with a small baby, was hearing this voice in the back of my head that we are women, we can do it all.
Mm,
I struggled, and
yeah.
most women struggle, most mothers struggle still, even though we have everything on the internet, even though that all information is there, but in various ways, presented in various ways. So that's why I'm saying that human to human connection is so important.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, experiences vary, but they usually have um, commonalities.
yeah. Yeah. Really interesting to see how a lot of these the things that we struggle with as women is they're universal regardless of how we were raised, just because there is that voice in our heads that keeps us stuck in the expectations or the boxes of others, and being able to encourage each other to be the voice that reminds someone, because a lot of times I've realized too, like, I can know something because I came across the information on the internet, but I need someone in my life to consistently remind me, because it's easy to forget. The old patterns that have been passed down through the generations keep getting louder than the information that is, you know, being finally talked about today, about how we don't have to just conform to what the expectations were of other people, and we can, set our own pace in life, we can listen to our own voices, all of those different things. You need those reminders from people in your community. um, so I'm really excited for women who are listening to get a chance to join your community through this book. And I mean, it really seems like an awesome conversation that anyone can just enter into and feel like they belong in this conversation. And they're
And they
seen
do.
through this.
And they
Yeah.
do. And we do open the book and close the book of thank you for joining our circle and thank you for being here, because we truly felt like putting this out there and also it's a beginning of the conversation. You can read the book, you can share your comments, you know us. You can connect with us through Substack, through Medium, to our website, and continue the conversation. And we write about these topics, and we do audio, and we do different type of things. So we are here with you. We are part of your circle. And I just wanted to say, because Gabi was talking about the bubbleheads, I want to show people who don't know what we are talking about. So
This
Gabi
is
came
so
up with
cool.
this amazing idea, and I just love it so much because I think it's so deep. I don't know if it's just me, but we wanted our books, the Weaving Connection books, to be a continued conversation. And so whoever is in the book, if it's just Gabi and me, it's the two of us. In the women's book, there's four of us. So we write a story or we have a conversation, but then we add to it, and the other people add to it too. So each of us have a little bubble head like this
That's so cute. I love this. I
that Gabi
still love it.
designed in Canva based on our little character. And it came from origin because they were two Gabrielas, like, how are we gonna do this? Gabri said this, Gabi said that, it's gonna be confusing. So she came up with this, and I just love it so much. I'm in love with this idea
It's
because it
amazing.
bring like this continuous conversation into it.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say with Lynette, yes, we do have a sacred circle. And um, I don't know what I wanted to say, but Lynette was saying something about the connection. Yes, we are all connected, deeply connected
Mhm.
through the plants, through Mother Earth, to each other. And I do truly believe what you were saying, Lynette, that we are more deeply connected than we thought.
Mhm.
Gabi and I found connection through how magical it is that we both ended up across different continents, but we both now have Hungarian roots, ended up on a same writing platform. Somebody recommended to her to write in my publication. We got to know each other. We started these nature walks, and then we met in life when we are so far apart from each other. And the connection is so deep. It's deeper than I can explain. And you guys can hear more about that in a future books. But it's just so amazing. Like there's connection with family, there's connection with friends, there's connection with acquaintances and people you meet, and then there's connection that you feel in your core.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
how I can visualize some of these connections as threads. So imagine a thin thread going between, let's see, uh, me and my mothers or sisters or whatever, and I see them in colors too. And then there's trees that connect you to people. Like sometimes the connection is not a thread, it's like this deep, thick tree. And then the
Mhm.
roots go into the other person and to you because it's such a spiritual and in depth connection that is kind of like bind you somehow for life, that always to be there for the other person, understand the person, be super easy to connect, to talk. um, that's the best way I can explain it. So that's how I feel my connection with Gabi, that we are connected by this deep rooted tree, just
Yeah.
like a trees we love in our nature walks.
Yeah, and
I love that.
we talked a lot about roots indeed in during our walks, and
Yes.
it all goes back to some root
Mhm. Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
are exploring, I guess, through writing. Uh, yes, I felt that it's some sort of sisterhood connection, really, really strong, but not the sister to sister, just
Yeah.
present. It's beyond that. So, like, the trees
Mhm.
are connected through centuries. That's what made me think of when you mentioned the trees.
That's a
There is
beautiful
a
image.
sisterhood connection like that as well through such roots, deep, deep.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that. So, for people who want to also join your circle and become a part of this uh, woven tree of connection, how can they find your book and get to join in the chat?
So I did put the name of the book and also the places, some of the places you can get it. I mean, if you search for my name, Dr. Gabriela Körösi, or Gabi's Gabriela Trofin-Tatár, or Dancing Elephant Press, um, you can find us on Substack. You can find us on Medium. We have the author pages on Amazon. And literally, you can find this book anywhere in the world in print, large print, and audio, and also ebook format. And you can also check them out from the library, which I'm super excited about because if I always feel like if you absolutely can afford it and if you cannot even get a library card, send me an email at dancingelephantpress@gmail.com. I'll get you a free PDF. Like if you have a barrier of reading that we sharing, then let us know and we will make it happen for you. We also read audio chapters, so you can find some of our audio chapters on the Substack platform as well, or on the podcast on my YouTube channel. So if you want to find us and if you meant to find us, you will find us. We
I
are
love
Everywhere.
everywhere.
that. That is the best book pitch ever. I love that so much.
And we do have a
Yeah.
women's circle as
Yes.
well. Um, that
Yeah, we
yeah.
meet. Yeah, we meet every last Sunday, um, and we started that now more than a half a year ago, last August, I think. So if anybody wants to join again, they can email me, contact me, and let me know, and I can send them an invite. And I just do want to say about our book is that it's from for women,
Mhm.
but look at that as a four pillar as it branching out to all women. So we wanted to share some of our experiences from motherhood, from birth, from societal perspective, from what we experience. But this is really a pebble. You
Mm.
know, it's a small, it's like look at them as seeds. As we share our experiences, we are hoping to give voice to other women to be able to talk about these kind of topics, to share their experiences, to be in a circle and,
Mm.
you know, be who they meant to be without any blocks or anything else in their life. So hopefully as we are blooming, we are hoping that we help other people bloom and share their stories and experiences and connect with each other. And everybody can form their own circle
Yes.
and surround
Yeah.
themselves with people who genuinely care and want to be around them and want to share their stories, just like our ancestor did around the fire, when they were doing
Yes.
their duties or whatever and sharing storytelling.
Yes, for sure, for sure. So any woman listening, this is a great call to action for you to go find a woman in your life who needs to hear this encouragement and create your own connection and build your own circle. Um, I love what the as you bloom, you encourage other people to bloom. I love what you said, how you worded that, Gabriella. So thank you again, everyone, so much for joining us. And be sure to follow Dancing Elephant Press on Substack because, like Gabby and Gabriella said, they have a lot of ideas, but they don't know what's coming next because they're just following their intuition and going with the flow. So you got to follow them to know what exciting thing is coming next.
I do want to say that Gabi also have a separate Substack too, and I have a personal. We both have a personal, and then we have Dancing Elephant Press, so you can
Yes.
find us.
And there's beautiful stuff for on all of those Substacks. I've learned so much from your stories and from the way that you let your voices shine, and I'm just so excited to see more. So thank you so much for taking this time to share with us and join this circle of connection for the past few 40 minutes. And thank you so much for putting this labor of love, this work of art into the world to get to help other people along their journeys. I think that you're doing amazing work, and I'm so excited to see what's next. So,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
of
thank you for having
course.
us.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.